So, this is my first video, and I'm Havenmaker, and today we're going to try and make a inlay ring. I saw several videos online, and it just seemed like something I really wanted to try and do. So I've got all my supplies here. I've got a ring blank in my size. This is the 6mm width in a size 7. I've got my opal here in a unicorn blue. I have some super thin CA glue, some medium CA glue, and some accelerator that's supposed to help it set faster. Now on my little machine here that my dad built me, I have a little ring mandrel, and I'm going to put the ring on and then use this little Allen wrench to tighten it up. There, now it won't slip. So, I'm going to take my crushed opal here. I'm going to put it on this little piece of pink cardstock just to make it easier to pour. Okay. Alright. Now, I've got my gloves on for protection because they say this stuff is really bad for your skin. So now I'm just going to put a little of the medium CA glue in the hole here. And then take my crushed up opal and gently tap those opals onto that glue. And then I'm going to take some of the thin CA glue and just go right on top of that. Then I'm going to turn my ring just a little. Might have went a little too far, but it'll be okay. Go back to the medium. And now I think I'm going to hit this with the activator or accelerator. It'll spray. There it goes. Ooh. Okay. Spin it a little more. There we go. I'm just going to keep doing this until the ring is filled. I've noticed that the activator does have a little bit of a smell to it. So that's something to think about. Now right here I can see I'm going to have some problems. Looks like that activator made that hard already, and I didn't get enough stones in that section. We'll see if we can work it out in the wash, so to speak. I can always grind it down and try some more if I need to. Roll a little bit and see how we're looking. That looks really good. Okay. I think that's a good stopping point. And now we should be able to let this dry just a little bit and start drilling, sanding it so that it's smooth. Okay? Alright. Okay, so I'm back. Right now I've got a little bit of a paper towel here just to kind of soak up the extra water. I have some water, and I have some varying grits of sandpaper, 240, 320, 400, 800, 1200, 2000, and 3000. Now, for those of you who don't know, the smaller the number, the rougher the grit is. So we're going to start with the small numbers and work our way up, and hopefully we'll get a nice smooth surface. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start that off nice and slow, and I'm going to wet this sandpaper down, or attempt to. I think I need a better spray bottle. Okay, that's nice and wet. Okay, we can go a little bit faster. About in there. I'm going to try and spray that. Get some water on there. Okay. You can see where it's coming off. So you want to keep on getting that powder that you see that comes on that. You want to keep getting that off so that it doesn't get gunked up in your ring. I can already tell a huge difference in the way that feels. I'm going to turn it off for just a second just to see what it's looking like. See, I think I'm going to keep going with this particular one for a little bit. As you can see, I did raise up my speed a little bit, and it does seem to be working. I think this sheet of paper is ready to be done with, and we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to use this water, spray it on here. I got to make sure I keep my hand away from that. That's the set screw. That'll hurt. There we go. Just kind of getting that extra dust off. Alright. I'm going to wet this sheet down. That first sheet, that was the 240, and this is the 320. I think next time I might even go with a rougher grit in the beginning. Now I am using a stainless steel blank. I think if I was using a softer metal, I would be a lot more careful with how I'm sanding this. But since this is stainless steel, I figure not so much to worry about. I think tungsten would be even less worrisome. And we're going to move on to a 400. Now we're going to move on to the 800. Okay. Get some more of that gunk off. I think, here we go. Got another piece of just a plain paper towel. Just wanted to see how it's looking now. We'll turn it. Looking pretty good, but I can tell that I still need a fair amount of sanding in a couple places. Right here in particular, it looks like I overflowed my glue. Let me see here. I'm just going to see if these scissors are enough to pop that loose. There we go. Do you think I need to go back and use my thicker sandpaper again, especially here? I see a lot that's outside of the inlay. So before I go on, I'm going to get a piece of the, you see right here I have a whole bunch. And I'm actually going to get a 150 just to see how that does. And I should probably go back over it all once I do that with the smaller ones again. But we'll see how that works. Glue that pretty good. I think my pants are more wet than the I don't know if you can tell, but I'm putting a fair amount of pressure on here when I do this. Not a lot, but it is definitely pressure. So I would definitely recommend starting with a lower grit like this instead of that 240. Especially if you didn't do quite as good in getting your stones in there and you may have overfilled it like I did. Hopefully my next one, if I do another one, will be better. Alright, that cleaned up and see if that looks better when we slow it back down. Right there, still got some issues in there. But overall, I'm just going to keep going with this paper. See how that looks now. Here. Spot, I'm just not happy with this. I guess I'll just keep going until I am happy. So in the videos that I've watched before, they said that this could take up to 4 hours making these rings. I was hoping for more along the 1.5 to 2, but we'll see. I need a new sheet. Twinny. This one's getting pretty bogged down with all that dust. It's getting closer. I can feel it. If you're listening really closely, I think you can probably hear that it's getting closer. It does kind of have more of a, I don't know, there's just not that growl that we first heard. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Get it clean. See how it's looking. Still that little spot. As you can tell, I didn't get as many stones in there as I should have in a couple of spots. But mostly the problem that I see is right here. And I think that took it off. Now right here we've got a little gap. And we're going to fill that up in just a minute. But first, I want to go back over this with some of these lighter lighter sand grades again. I've already done that one. Alright, here's the 320 again. And then 400. That sounds so much better. Now the 800. Feels super smooth in my hand. How does that look? That little gap there I still gotta fix. Okay. Now for that gap, what I'm going to do is try and get the camera Okay, so for this little gap, I'm going to take some of the medium. I'm going to try very, very carefully not to get it on my hands. Okay. Also, I've got a little bit of stones left, and I might be able to get a couple in here. If I'm careful, of course that means I'll have to redo some stuff. That's okay. Alright, there's that. There's that medium, the gap filling. Put that on. Spray the activator. Alright. I'm going to test and see. It's a little sticky. You're going to wait just a minute or two, okay? Alright. Now I'm going to go back with some of this rough. Let's see what it looks like underneath that. It's kind of hard to tell when it's spinning. Right there. Still got a little gap. Still needs a little bit more. This time I'm going to use the thin. I think I'm going to use the thin. This would have been the next step anyways. To put the thin over just to make sure. Got all our spots. Some activator. And see there, that's the reason why you wear gloves. Almost got my fingers stuck together. I don't even know when I got glue on them. Now I'm going to turn it on. Go pretty fast. And go use the 2000. I'm going to polish this baby up real nice. Right here, I got a little much. I'm going to have to go back. That's thicker. Rougher sand. Again. Darn it. Alright. We're going to check this one more time. Hopefully, it'll be ready to finish going back through those stages. think I'm ready. Just going to go back through the stages. So let's see, here's the 320. You see that shine coming back out. And 3. Down, put a little water on it, dry it off. It actually looks really pretty, especially here where I got it nice and full. Right here when I got started, the part that I didn't get as many in there as I would have liked. And there's still just a tiny bit of area right there that is just not right. And I'm going to use that ultra thin on it again. Then I'll hit that again with the 3 and the 2, I think, just to make sure that I've got it. But obviously it would be best to not make that mistake to begin with. Alright. Okay, let's So the next step is polishing with an actual polishing and polishing compound. But I mean, honestly, it looks pretty darn good as it is. Oh my goodness, that is difficult. I don't know if I can break that loose or not. There it goes. Clean it off. I still need to polish it, but there's a preview of what it'll look like. The colors in that. Quite pretty. Alright. Okay, so for the polishing step, we don't really have all the tools like I would like to use. But we do have this, and we have this white. So I put the polishing wheel on an old drill, and I'm just gonna it's a little hard to do this and show you at the same time. Let's see here if I turn it this way. Alright, there we go. Now obviously I have never used any of this stuff before, so I'm hoping I've got it right. And I'm just gonna, I'm thinking if I turn this on at the same time. I asked my dad why I couldn't just hold the polishing wheel up to it instead of using the drill, but yeah. Alright. I mean, that looks pretty shiny to me. Just take it out. And let's see, I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's the finished ring right there. And this part looks really good. And you can see here where I got that glue and it got hard before I got around to putting there. But I mean, for my first try, this is actually really nice. So yeah, what do you guys think? Cool?